Yes, we do this every Monday and Wednesday at 8 o'clock. We pull these right from the Reddit feed. I've got today's Am I the Asshat for enforcing a fantasy football league punishment?
Oh.
Yeah. We're in the thick of it.
It's true.
Some have already said, look, we already have winners, and this guy is in the same boat here. So he says, I am part of a fantasy football league that's been running for 10 years plus. About 5 years ago, we decided to implement the idea of a last place punishment. This has ranged from things like jump in a lake during winter, get your nipples pierced, and keep it on for a month.
Oh my gosh, that's intense.
Yeah. Things like that.
Okay. All right. So we're serious.
Very serious. Yeah, he says this year, the punishment format was that the league winner could choose between two punishments. The loser could either have his or her nipple pierced or do a professional photo shoot wearing an outfit that the rest of the league chooses.
Okay, I kind of love that.
Yeah, fun, right?
Yeah.
Well, last year, it was apparent after the early games who the last place individual would be. He sent a flurry of texts to the league telling us that he refuses to do a nipple piercing and it's against his belief system. This is something that he did not bring up when another league member did the same punishment, nor any time in the ensuing 3 years until it was clear that he was going to be the one to avoid punishment. I told him that's pretty poor reflection of the type of person that he is, and he responded that if that is my takeaway, that he is fine ending our friendship, where he then proceeded to block me. It feels very silly to lose a friendship over a pierced nipple. Sorry to even read that. And fantasy football, which makes me think that I'm the asshat for holding him to his punishment. But it's also funny to me. So am I the asshat? Something also to keep in mind is he was the clear winner, so that's what he chose.
Yep.
And the guy, it was very clear that that's what the road they were going down. Just to make that clear. 651-641-1071. Is this guy the asshat for saying, look, that was part of the game. That's what I chose. What say you?
He's totally an asshat.
Yeah. Okay.
What an asshat. Yes.
So the guy enforcing it, you should say, okay, well then instead we'll pick an outfit for you.
At body modification, right? Like I understand, like do a photo shoot wearing embarrassing clothing. I get that.
Yeah, sure.
No harm, no foul. But like asking somebody to modify their body. And again, I am a person who enjoys piercings. I have lots. But when you don't get to dictate that for somebody else.
Yeah.
Without their say-so, without their consent. And you certainly, I mean, to lose a friendship over that.
I know.
Yeah, you are an asshat. I think you owe him an apology. Holly?
Yeah, you're an asshat for these being the terms anyways to begin with.
Right.
And all of you are asshats
Yes.
for making a punishment for the loser for your fantasy football team and then have it be something body modification. Yes, exactly, Colleen. Do a photo shoot. Do something silly. That's funny.
Embarrass yourself.
Yes. Yeah, go jump in a lake.
Yeah, go do something if you must. I just take beef with the idea of punishing the loser. That's a weird frat type adjacent behavior that I don't subscribe to that newsletter at all.
Yeah.
But just let it be, man. And you're going to ruin your friendship over this? Were you even friends to begin with?
Exactly.
Well, this is where I'm kind of like, yeah, they're all asshats. This is part of opting into the league. I mean, they've been clear about this for the last 5 years.
Right.
And if you know joining them that we're going to pick between two things, chances are they might pick that. So
are you saying he should have spoken up?
He should have spoken up earlier.
I'm not going to blame the victim in this situation. I'm just saying, I'm not saying
that he should go through with it and pierce his nipple.
Yeah.
But I am saying, like this is something to say.
Flag earlier.
Like, how good of friends are you? That's my kind of what I was going with that.
Okay,
down
that's
that
a good
line of
that's
like,
a good point.
If you guys are the friends that you say you are, then that should be a safe place for you to say, look, I'm not comfortable if I lose to pierce my nips.
Yeah, I don't want to do that. That is
do something
invasive.
else.
Yes. Dress like a grimace. And Dad, oh wait, that's not a punishment.
Oh,
I was just going to say,
that's a
I feel
reward.
like you guys do that just for funsies.
For free.
Yeah, that's a reward.
Yeah,
What
we're
am I
winning.
kidding? Yeah.
Yeah, you're rewarding everybody.
Yeah.
I want you to know.
Okay.
So that's kind of the route I'm going down. Yes, absolutely. Asshat for enforcing it, but also maybe bring that up when the league is gathering to pick the punishments.
I would just like to say, I think that league needs to have a family meeting where they decide what's on the table and what's not on the table.
Exactly.
Right? Put some boundaries in place, and then you don't find yourself in this situation where somebody's being forced to get their nipple pierced and doesn't want to, right? You can have a conversation about that. I don't know how skilled they are at that, but that's okay.
I don't know.
Hope they're going to professional.
Yeah, something tells me they're not very skilled.
Like an
That's
apple
the
core.
vibe I'm getting.
Ugh. All right, let's go to Sharon Lee. Sharon Lee is on the line. Sharon Lee, thank you for calling. What say you? Is this guy the asshat?
I think they're all asshats.
Yes.
Honestly, they're all asshats and should grow up. I mean, razzing or whatever you call it in college and universities has been outlawed. This is ridiculous. They should just find something else to do with, and besides the pictures as well. That's asshatty, because they last forever. No, get rid of them.
Yeah,
There.
that's
And this is called friendship? Come on. They're not talking to each other, so they're all asshots.
I love it.
thank you,
Everybody's
Sharon
an
Lee.
asshat.
Yes.
You're an asshat. You're an asshat.
Let's go to Alexis. Let's see what she thinks. Thanks for calling, Alexis. Is this guy the asshat?
Well, my feeling is that I think the other guy is the asshat because I just do not like that he's getting all up in arms when he's the one who has to take the punishment. I feel like, if you're going to say something, say it on behalf of everybody. Just say,
Beforehand.
I don't feel like this is right, not just for me if I lose,
Right.
but for anybody who loses. And that's where I feel like they're all entering the asshattery.
Yeah, that's a great point. Yes.
Yeah, again, I do
Thank
feel
you,
like,
Alexis.
thank you, Alexis. I do feel like they, like I said before, like they should have had a family meeting and decided,
Yes.
like what kinds of things are on the table. Eating weird stuff on the table. Body
Yes.
modification not on the
Off
table.
the table.
Yeah.
Especially, I want to know more of who's doing the piercing. I didn't even think about that till
I
you
don't
said
want to
that.
know.
Oh yeah, hygienic. Ought to make sure you go to a professional.
Right.
This is not something that is a DIY experience.
Oh my goodness. All right, let's go to Kay on the line. Is this guy the asshat for enforcing a fantasy football league punishment? Thanks for calling, Kay. What say you?
Well, I am a girl, and I will never understand the boys and their fantasy football. So let's just
Let's start there.
Right.
I'm on your
Touche.
team.
yeah. And I do think it's a bit extreme, but at the same time, this guy was fine with it for 4 years until it happened to him.
Exactly.
And so I just see this guy laughing and chugging a beer and joking at the guy getting this piercing and everybody looking at it and watching the other guy jump in the river or whatever. And it's all fun and games until it happens to him. So it's kind of like I'm with Colleen that they needed to put out perimeters 5 years ago. Not all of a sudden it's happening to me, so it's bad.
Yeah.
And you're all mean and you're all picking on me and I'm not going to be your friend anymore. So, that's just kind of like, it's all very ridiculous. But like I said, boys are weird at every age.
That is a fact.
I have boys, Colleen, so I'm with you on that.
Yep. They're aliens.
They are weird. So I just, like I said, he's kind of protesting a whole lot now. And it was like I said, it was really funny last year when it wasn't him.
Right. It's a little too late. And even if it was at the beginning of this league and said, look, last year I saw, Doug get his nip pierced and that was really uncomfortable for me. I don't want that to be me. So let's, before we're underway, right?
Yep,
So great
long
point.
Before we're on our way.
Exactly. Thank you so much, Kay, for your call. Yeah, it's
Do we have a verdict?
I think we have a verdict and we have an email here too. Okay. Lesbian Jen from Duluth says that a fantasy football league had a loser spend 24 hours in a Waffle House. And for every waffle he ate, 1 hour was subtracted from his
Okay.
time.
So
The video is his experience and it was fun.
I just got this text from my husband. I've seen fantasy football bets where the loser has to spend all day and night at a Nashville bar, open to close, but they can get time reduced by the amount they drink.
Okay. Well, there we
That's kind of
go.
scary to me, but whatever.
Sure. But it's not right. It's not body modification. Julie
Right.
says the same thing, and she says not the ass hat. It's a bit dramatic saying body modification. A piercing is temporary. Okay, so
I agree with you. Yes. However, everybody has varying levels of comfort around a piercing.
yeah,
And it does modify your body for the time that you have it. And it is like we do. Our bodies are our bodies.
sure.
And we get to consent about what gets to happen around that. But that conversation should have happened way before.
I love it. She's like being a little dramatic.
All right.
Really love you. But she says the whole league is they're all ass hats. But the loser knew the risk. So valid point. Yes.
All right. Well, I
What's the
think
verdict?
the verdict here is this.
The results are in. You are the ass hat.
Okay.
Yep. Alrighty then. Fantastic. Thank you for everyone's input here.
Yeah. My advice is just don't do fantasy football.
I tell my
For
husband
what
that
it's worth.
he's in 3 leagues.
Oof.
But there's not punishment for the loser.
No, my husband was
You win money.
I think my husband was in fantasy football like 1 or 2 years, and they were miserable because he went from
really?
caring about one game to caring about all the games. And it
That
was
is
just
true.
like suddenly
And specific-
all of our TVs had to be on all the games, and I was like, I'd like to watch some trash TV. I believe.
Please. Yes.
Oh, fantasy football is ingenious.
I was gonna say, and then you were like, then you're focused on specific characters, but no
Yes.
players.
Yep.
Right.
But yeah, right.
It makes you invested in the league in its entirety, not
Yeah.
just your team.
Yeah.
Yeah, he loves it. It's also like a togetherness thing, but it's not like they don't have things like this. It's just you win money or not. They trash talk back and forth.
Yeah,
but
they
it's
love
all
to
in
chirp
fun.
at each other. Yeah.
Yeah. So there you go. Do what you will with the punishment of the loser, especially if you're winning money. Do you need to be punishing the loser?
No,
But-
that's the whole thing.
Yeah,
You
it's-
don't need a punishment. That's a hazing thing. Just win
Yeah.
your money, and if you don't win the money, you're going to be sad because you don't have any
That
money.
is the punishment.
Yeah.
You lost your money. That is the punishment.
Ding, ding, ding.